Wake up, Jacob. It's me, IP, and if you are feeling the vibe, like, share, subscribe. Appreciate you joining me. Hey, listen. I was looking at an article and had me thinking about a lot of different things. The far-reaching effects of this pandemic or plague, and we're all noticing how it's affecting us in various ways, and how when we come out the other side of this, things are going to be really, really different. It's certainly going to be a bit of a paradigm shift. And for those of us who were caught off guard, it's already a huge paradigm shift. Never did we think the day would come where we would go to the grocery store and all of a sudden the shelves are all but bare, especially of the essentials and stuff. But another paradigm shift is going to take place, right? So let me get rid of these. Another paradigm shift is going to take place, and that is a cashless society. Now, some people don't think that is going to come. I do. I think that it is going to happen. I think a cashless society, is coming. This is just my opinion, but I do believe that it is coming. And we know that goes right along with what scripture says, talking about in Revelation, obviously, where we won't be able to buy or sell unless you take the mark and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying what the mark is, because everybody has their own idea. RFID chips, RFID chips. Some people think credit cards are, some people think barcodes are. It's just, whatever, then, we have other ways of paying for things cashless, right? So you got Cash App and Venmo and PayPal and on and on, and the list goes on and on and on. We have direct deposit, so we don't even have to have a physical check in our hand. We can just get a direct deposit into our accounts. So everything is set up to be cashless. If we looked at, like, last time I checked, it was Sweden is like almost 100% cashless. Almost. The remaining holdouts were 20% of society in Sweden still uses cash, somewhere between 15-20% or something like that. So it's kind of weird. They're almost completely cashless, and there's little pockets in the U.S. where it's really it's almost cashless. Tell you this, some of you guys who are old enough to remember, hey, if you're old enough, when's the last time you seen someone actually like write a check, right? So it's like, it's like cash is quickly becoming, a dinosaur, right? I got no problem with cash. I don't, but most of my transactions are through a card or something like that, some form of or another. But it is starting to happen. It is certainly starting to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I was looking at this article. Let me give a little bit of it to you. Let's see here. And it's a USA Today article, and it's talking about being, cashless. And it's talking about, will 2020 mark the start of a decade when Americans finally ditch cash and use digital wallets and credit cards and things like that? So let's look at it real quick, okay? Because this article, it had been out a couple of months, but let's take a look. I think it's really appropriate to what's going on right now. Think about it. You have this coronavirus, and it's three main ways that you can contract it, right? Coughing, sneezing, touch surfaces. It can get into your eyes. You're touching foreign surfaces and things like that, right? So there's a couple of ways you can get it. And cash, aren't we touching that all the time? Making these transactions, people, counting their money or whatever. Dollar bills stick together, pretty disgusting what people do. They got, and then they, peel off the money. So, yeah, they're going to do that. I think businesses are going to kind of back up the idea. Not everyone's on board of this whole cashless society idea, but I think some businesses who make large deposits, where the Brinks trucks have to come get it and, and all that other stuff to make their deposits, I think they're going to go for it because they want to secure their money, which you can't blame them for wanting to do that. But I think it's set up for it, guys. I really do. I think it's set up for it. But a little bit of the article there, it says, with the rise of digital wallets and tap and pay debit cards, you don't need dollars and cents to catch a ride in an Uber or to nab a meal at some fast casual restaurant. So Will the new decade mark the dawn of a cashless society? Like I said, not everybody agrees, but anyway, not likely, experts say. But the list of spaces where cash is completely unnecessary will probably grow. Those opportunities where you can opt not to use cash, I think, will increase, says Shell Santana, a marketing professor at Harvard who has closely studied the cashless trend. The question is whether there will be an increase in where you are prevented from using cash. And that's the interesting dynamic to watch in 2020. I think we do need to watch that. Fewer Americans are using cash for even the smallest purchases, while consumers use cash for 46% of purchases under $20 in 2015. Back in 2015, they use dollars to pay for just 37% of similarly priced items this year. Okay, so now only 37% for purchases of $20 or less. Okay, um, they start using dollars at only 37%, so mostly digital, right? According to the payment systems company Square, right? And I use Square too. I use those guys too from time to time. Even the kettle toting Salvation Army workers busily sounding the bell during the holiday season now accepts digital donations. Passersby can use their smartphones to scan smart chips or QR codes on the red kettle signs and give a digital contribution instead of scrounging for change. It's the Salvation Army's first national cashless initiative. All right, moving on. Faster without cash. Retailers who've cut out hard currency say that they're able to speed up transactions while reducing the risk of theft and the cost of securing the totaling large amounts of cash to the bank. But there has also been pushback on the cashless trends as some lawmakers and activists argue that it excludes those who are underbanked or who don't have a bank account or credit card at all. Several cities and states have passed or are considering laws that require businesses to accept dollars and cents. No problem with that because you don't want to leave people out. New Jersey began prohibiting most businesses from going cashless in March. San Francisco passed a similar measure in May, and New York City may vote on its own version of such legislations in the new year. What they're going to do is those who don't have banks and stuff like that, they're just going to give them a card. Okay, just have your money put on there. They're just going to give them some sort of debit card or something like that. So, what can I say? A cashless business model is discriminatory by design. I agree, says New York City Councilman Richie Torres, who is the sponsor of the pending bill. My legislation ensures that all New Yorkers, regardless of their ability to access credit or debit cards, can purchase goods and services at all food and retail establishments. Among U.S. households, 6.5% did not have bank accounts in 2017, according to the FDIC, and 18.7% had accounts but also used financial services outside of insured institutions. Communities of color are particularly affected. Among African American households, 16.9% were unbanked in 2017. The most recent year data was available. And 14% of Latino households did not have a bank account, according to the FDIC. So that's why I do this kind of information, because it affects us. Okay, Amazon offers cash options, but it's just not people without credit card and debit cards who may balk at being told they can't use cash. In an era when data breaches occur at, okay, I'm sorry, this page started all over again. So let me go back down to it. On my phone, got a little glitch on my phone there. Data breaches occur at institutions like credit rating agencies Equifax. Some consumers worry that cashless payments can intrude on their privacy. Amazon, I agree with that. Amazon, a company that in many ways defines the digital currency, have taken steps to better accommodate shoppers who prefer to pay with bills. In September, Amazon Pay Code became available in the U.S., enabling shoppers to make a purchase online, then head to Western Union to pay for it with cash. The company has also expanded Amazon Cash, a service it began in 2017 that allows shoppers to go to convenience stores and other locations to add $500 to $500 in cash to the balance that can be tapped to make online purchases. Even with those services, the U.S. is quite a ways off from becoming a society like Sweden, where roughly 80% of purchases are done using a card or other cashless exchange, says Santana. But there are plenty of places in the U.S. where folks can catch a glimpse of a cashless future. there are certain pockets of certain cities that are already there, she says, noting that it's likely very few cash transactions occur in Manhattan Financial District. But if you look at the economy of, say, the Bronx, that distribution of cash versus card is going to look very different. So this is going to be much more of an evolution rather than a revolution over time. That's the end of the argument. But the article. But guys, if we look at like this particular expert, she doesn't believe that that we're going to be a cashless society anytime soon. I can't put a time frame on it and everything, but we got to look at all the things that are in place and look at the push. Um, First, you're presenting something and you have to get used to it first. We're already used to paying with cards. Think about the transition. For those who are old enough, think about the transition. The transition, okay, obviously cash has been all the way around, but cash is no longer king. If you look at some of the numbers, I mean, over half transactions now, okay, are not with cash. Okay, so you're already just being, conditioned. Okay, conditioned to do it. I mean, we used to have cash, and then we used to write checks, right? And then people were used to checks. Now I'm talking about 70s, 80s, stuff like that. But people were used to writing checks, and then we had our debit cards and credit cards, right? And now we have this thing called PayPal and Cash App and Venmo, and we have all these things. We also have blockchain. We have digital currency. You can make transactions with digital currency. I mean, I bought Bitcoin completely digital. I mean, some Bitcoin, some fractional Bitcoin, stuff like that. Um, and you look at some of the other. There's another. I'm sorry. There's another coin out there. It'll come to me later. I just drew a blank there. But anyway, but you have one particular cryptocurrency that aligns itself like with Western Union and things like that. And Ripple, yeah, there it is, Ripple. So you have Ripple out there, and they align themselves with the Western Union. Our article mentioned that as well. So you have blockchain technology, which of course very closely aligns itself, with cryptocurrencies, and so you're going to get used to it. The world as society, I'm not talking about you personally, but the world as a whole, we're going to get used to it. There are some towns, some people get paid in digital currency, right? Some people get paid in crypto. There's some businesses that I've seen, okay, that takes payments in cryptocurrency. I mean, obviously Bitcoin is still king, but it's nowhere where it used to be. I mean, what, in December 2018, it was almost $20,000 a coin. It's down around 5 right now. And again, I say that because I know not everybody's into the whole financial sector and stuff like that. But for those who are, just trying to keep abreast and stuff like that, you're being conditioned. You're being conditioned. It's starting to happen. It's starting to make its way, into our lives. Okay, so let's do a quick little roll call. 'Cause I see some people joining in real quick. I want to get you guys' thoughts on it. 1 second. Let's go to it real quick. Here we go. Okay, a little bit of a roll call. We have the main man, Frank Stockton. Shalom, shalom. Ronnie Rayner. Shalom, shalom. How's it going? You guys give me an update. What's going on in your neck of the woods? This whole plague is certainly hitting close to home. I'm sure it's starting to hit close to home to a lot of people, where you are. So this quarantine, we got to tighten up on this lockdown. Sometimes you venture out for small things or whatever. But let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods. Anybody have any updates? Say what state you in, that you are in, and let us know what's going on. What's going on? The weather. What's going on with the society? What people are doing. If you ventured out to the stores, let me know what's going on in the hospitals. Things like that. Businesses. Just give us a little quick update if you don't mind. So again, Frank Stockton, Ronnie Rayner, Lynn, how are you going, sis? Rosie UK, what is going on, sister from across the pond? Deborah L, shalom, shalom, and awaken the generation Yah, Grand Risings King, Grand Risings. Lynn, okay, yeah, you're right. You're talking about, it's been in the works. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, this whole cashless. Some places don't take. Yeah, absolutely. There's some places that don't even take cash. Absolutely, that's what's going on right now. A unique taste of soul. Shabbat shalom, brother. Good to hear from you. Awesome hearing from you, brother. You be careful out there. He said, brother, I fear, aren't we as Israel not supposed to follow the masses? Generally, no. We're not supposed to follow the masses. You go along to get. I mean, you if as the scripture say, if at all possible, live peaceably with all men. But as long as it doesn't violate your worshiping the Most High, as long as it doesn't violate how we observe the Most High, because like Peter said, we ought to obey God rather than men. So no, you don't follow the masses, so to speak. But we know through all the captivities, Israel had to deal with a lot, through different captivities. You look at how Daniel had to deal with being in Babylon, but it didn't stop him from praying to the Most High. He was in Babylon, but it didn't stop him from praying. That kind of thing. You see how the disciples, they were under Roman occupation. Yeah, they were still in Israel and Jerusalem, but they were under Roman occupation, and it's well, we ought to obey God rather than men. Stuff like that. And then of course there's some other examples. Those two just popped in my head. So we're gonna be, it's the wheat and the tares, brother. It's the wheat and the tares. We're gonna all come up together. We're gonna, and he's gonna have to sift us out. Okay, that's why he can help the Most High and Messiah. He can help us, wherever we are. But we don't want to tempt by playing games. VA, no more school this. Whoa, no more school this year, brother Stockton. So no more school this year. What did I say about how the old past would help us? If we were homeschooling, would it be a problem? You wouldn't miss a beat with the homeschooling. So that's just wow. So he said in Virginia, no more school this year. Wow. Okay, awaken the generations. Say, well, we need to come out of the beast system period. Yeah, absolutely. We need to come out of that. Let's see here. Evan Davis, shalom, good bro, shalom. Thank you, brother. Thank you. How's it going in your neck of the woods, brother Evan Davis? All right. By hearing and hearing by, I thank you for the specific. Thank you, see, for that specific point. Okay. Okay, I am an occultee. Awaken to the generations line. Okay, sister. Okay, I live in the Amish area, PA. Okay, thank you, because thank you for letting me know, sister. Because on my phone the picture is really, really small. I can't tell. So awaken the generation. Yeah, I said I am an occultee. I live in the Amish area of PA. How's it going up there? What's going on? How are the Amish living? Okay, what are they doing? If you can see, what's going on, how are the streets? Because it's getting pretty ghost town in a lot of areas. Sis, shalom, Lynn. Okay, she's in El Paso. It seems normal. The only thing is you can't sit and eat. It's all to go. Yeah, that's happening everywhere. Lisi, shalom. How are you? Evan Davis, VA on partial statewide lockdown starting midnight tonight. Yep, there you go. So there's gonna be a lot of curfews going on. Okay, so it's all good here. Thus living righteous is our covering. Hubby doing better today. Oh, good. Was he sick? Was he having some kind of issues or something like that, sister? And Unique Taste of Soul. Okay, got the lamb, bro. What? You got it? Unique Taste of Soul. He got it. But I'm not gonna put your land out there, but the one we talked about, right? The one you showed me, right? So you got it. Awesome, my man. I'm happy for you. Okay, so that's another brother we're gonna be in proximity. Hallelujah. Yeah, brother Frank Stockton. We're gonna be in proximity. Unique Taste of Soul. We're gonna be in proximity. That's gonna be good. Ronnie Rayner, I think we're gonna be in proximity. Let me know. So we're all gonna be in proximity to each other. I'm talking about like within an hour. Like, all of us are less than an hour of each other, right? So that's gonna be awesome. When this whole thing clears up, guys, we gotta be ready to move. Gotta be ready to work. We gotta help each other. We gotta really be about it. Okay, we can't just talk about it. We gotta really be about it. We're gonna help each other. That means you have your materials ready to go. You call some brothers up and say, hey, I got this project going. Okay, you're gonna build whatever it is. Whatever it is we're gonna build. We're gonna build this deck. We're gonna build this shed, this barn. We got stuff to do. We got to do these gardens. So let's get it, guys. Let's get it. We're gonna just all of us group up together and go to one another's land and do projects. Whoever got their stuff ready to go, let's go get it done. So hallelujah, guys. Hallelujah. Okay, so let's see. Let's see here. Statewide lockdown, da, da, da. All good, hubby. Okay, he got the land. Yes, sir. Awesome, awesome. Let's see here. I knew the school system was going to be shut down. Yeah, 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 yeah. It was going to happen. I told you. I said, homeschooling might be the way to go. All right. Okay. Deborah said, we live in Minnesota and my husband works at the hospital. Many non-essential employees laid off. Laid off. Elective surgeries canceled, of course. And we had prepped, but still will go to the stores at times, but mask up and gloves. Okay. Yep. Masked up and gloves. Uh, my, uh, my Yeshaya was talking about, we're talking about gloves and stuff like that. So on the news, they're talking about the people not wearing gloves. But here's why. Okay, when I first heard it, I was like, are you crazy? Wearing gloves. Because I do. I have gloves. I wear gloves and stuff like gloves and masks and stuff like that. But here's why. It's because of the misuse of the gloves, right? So people are going in, they have their gloves, and they have this false sense of security. Now, I'm not telling you not to wear gloves. I'm just telling you where people go wrong, right? They have the false sense of security. They got their gloves, right? And they're touching on the items, but they're touching on items everybody else touched, right? And then they get their items and stuff like that, and they put them in their card and all that, and pay for it. And then they're touching on their card, and then they're touching their personal effects, their iPad, their phone. They're touching on certain things, right? And then when they take them off, they're taking the gloves off wrong, right? So they took one glove off, and then they're touching their bare hand to the other glove. And then some people are not washing their hands. I'm not saying that's you. And some people are not washing their hands, so you're getting infected. You're just getting infected a different way. So again, I'm not saying you're doing it, but I'm just saying be careful how you handle all your goods, how you handle your gloves, how you take off your gloves. You gotta take them off the right way, and wash your hands anyway, regardless. Just wash your hands anyway, and then you have to disinfect your items, your iPad, your phones, and all that stuff. Remember, you're touching your glove, an infected glove, like with your credit card and stuff like that, you're putting it back in your purse and your wallet, stuff like that. So we just got to be careful of how we handle stuff like that. So it's funny that you had mentioned that, because some people are not doing it correctly. Let's see. At least I went out yesterday and the store only took cash. It seems to really help the amount of people in the store and how much supply was there. Yeah, if you took you take the cash, because it's like how much cash do they have on hand. So I get that. So that makes sense. Deborah else said most people seem oblivious to it. Yeah, some people are not taking it serious at all. Some people are not taking it serious at all. Okay. Oh, and she said, okay, it's okay. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see here. They're still progressing. Okay. At least here they do. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. He was going out for coffee and now he's staying home. Okay, got you. Glad he's feeling better. IP, will they be added to? Go ahead and clarify that for me, Brother Frank Stockton. But you know what? Before I even got on this, particular live stream, I got to tell you guys, there's this dude, okay? There's this dude who tested 100% positive, right? He took the test, got the results back. They say, you are asymptomatic, you have COVID-19. For sure. And he's live streaming and everything, right? And he says, a Gentile dude, and he said, yeah, I've been tested positive, and I got COVID-19. It's positive. I'm asymptomatic and stuff, and my throat's scratchy and all that, and and I'm out here. I'm in Walmart right now, and I got it. If I got it, we're all gonna get it. I'm like, F everybody, right? We're all gonna get it. Stuff like that. I don't care, that kind of thing. I'm like, wow. Okay, and it was reminiscent of that guy who I think he had like a ski mask or something on, but he openly, he says, hey, I got AIDS, I got full-blown AIDS and everything, and I'm just trying to sleep with as many people as I can so I can give it to him. I don't care, stuff like that. Kind of goes back to misery loves company. And then there are some wicked people out there, period. Like the corona guy, he's like, well, I got it. It ain't going to stop me from living my life. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm like, wow, okay, all right. Okay, so Those are the kind of people you're dealing with out there. Some people got it and they're like, I don't want to be the only one to get it. I'm spreading it around, right? So keep that in mind, guys. There's some malicious, wicked people out there. Okay, let's see here. So, yeah, you have to explain that. Right. Where are you, brother? I even have a campground next to me. Okay. You're talking to sister, speaking to me or someone else on the chat? Because I'm not sure on that one. Okay, let me see. What's the right way to take off the gloves? If I had some gloves or something, let me see. Let me see some gloves. Let's see. Thank you, thank you. All right, so on the spot, Dimitri. Thank you, Lisi. Putting me on the spot like that. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So let me go ahead. Okay, so if you have some gloves on, okay. Let me put them on the spot here.
And then also should try their best not to touch any of their personal effects. Don't touch your phone while you're in the store. Just have your card somewhere easily accessible so that you can just sanitize your card.
Right. You're saying not to touch your personal effects, like your cell phone and your cards and stuff like that. Try not to do it. Okay, so try not to do it. But anyway, okay, so what I teach in my class, when I teach in my class, you have to pinch it here at the bottom, right? So let's just say these gloves are infected, and you pinch here at the bottom, and then you pull up, okay? These suckers are tight. You pull up. Now I'm still using the inside of the glove, okay? So I'm still using the inside of the glove, taking that, and then I'm taking the inside of the glove and pulling up the bottom, and then I'm grabbing it like that so it goes on the inside. Right now, this is all the inside of the glove. Now it's just in a big ball. It's just in a big ball, and you throw it away, and you still wash your hands, right? That was just a sloppy on the spot. I'm not throwing these gloves away. I'm gonna use these again. So since they haven't been used. So anyway, and those were a little bit tight, but the principle is the same. You pinch it from the outside. You have an infected glove. Pinch it from the outside. You lift up through. And right before you take it out, then you want to grab, and you're still on the inside of the glove, and then pull all the way through and ball it up. And it's basically inside out, right? It's one inside the other, and it's inside out. Okay. Next time I'll put my Yeshai on there because she can do it quicker, and I think her hand's a little more delicate, so it'll slip off a little easier so you can see it a little bit better. But that's the general principle. All right, let's see. My wife is the director of school counseling at a high school in Henrico, Virginia. Her students and parents blew her phone up because of school being canceled the rest of the year. This is it. School's out. It's over. Summertime. Early summertime. It's over. Rest of the school year. Deborah said, yes, understand about gloves, but husband works in surgery, so he over top of, no problem. He works in surgery, he got it. He got it covered. I'm just talking about the folks who don't. And then wipe everything down with bleach, including cash, card, doorknobs, and all goods. Absolutely, sis. So he works in surgery, he got it covered. And my wife's students are seniors. Yep. Yeah, they're seniors. They're like, let me get my crown. I'm out. I'm graduated. I guess I graduated early. No, I know. The hard thing about it, though, and I'm interested to see what's going on. And maybe my Isha could probably find out. But since it was before, and because we got to think about the seniors, right? Since all this happened before the testing, like the STARS test, and what different states this test called something different, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
standardized testing has been waived for this year. So seniors that were still, usually by this time, seniors are not trying to finish their tests. Most exit level tests are 10th grade.
Okay.
The only thing they may have math, and they may have
maybe
English.
Okay.
If that. But most testing is done by the fall of your senior year.
Okay, got you. Okay, got you. Okay, so she straightened me out on that. Appreciate that update.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Okay, so The seniors may not have anything to worry about. Just so you guys know, they
And then,
may not.
and
Depends.
then for other students, their testing has been waived this year, so they just won't have a test on file. If
Oh,
they're a
okay.
high school student, they will probably, most likely, they'll have to take the test again next year. So you may see more testing. You may see fall testing for things like science, which typically only test once a year.
Which grade level are you talking about?
High school.
Okay,
For
okay.
high school.
Just in high school,
So you'll
period. Oh, to
probably
get to
see
the next grade. Okay,
yes, so
gotcha.
you'll see science because in high school they have end of course exams. Most states you have to take 2 science exams. So which is usually biology and maybe chemistry. They will probably have those tests in the fall, along with
Mm-hmm.
the math and the English. They usually test twice a year. Sometimes, depending upon the state, in Texas, they give high school students 4 chances for math and reading per year.
Mm-hmm.
In Arizona, they gave 2 times per year at the end of each course. You have the opportunity to take that test again.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they'll be. It sounds like they'll be able to work that whole testing part out. So
Right, and
they'll get that
depending
going.
upon whether or not it's a graduation requirement, they may or may not have to take that test. It just depends on what state. In Texas, it's a graduation requirement, which is why they have 4 chances a year. In other states, like Arizona, they're not a graduation requirement, so they just won't take it.
Gotcha. She's been teaching for like 12 years, so she, high school teacher, so she's been informed on that. See, students and seniors. Yep, yep. Fingers inside. Yeah. Fingers inside and flip outside. Opposite side of the skin. Absolutely. The Missouri chat. Yes. We have to. Yeah, I'm talk to you guys. Put it in the Missouri chat. See if all the guys that are in there. Um, and just pose the question, adding someone else, and then we'll do that. We'll do that. I mean, of course, my vote's yes. My vote is yes. But you guys, let me know. I just want to see how everyone feels. So, brother Frank Stockton, if you go in there, go into the chat, and then just ask, hey, does everyone, how everybody feel about adding, another brother to the chat or whatever. You guys know, what we're talking about. Unique taste of soul. My vote is yes. Let's see. When is the new moon this month? Sister. When do we see the new moon? Yeah. It definitely already happened, and we got to do 14 days. But I'm gonna tell you right now, this whole when this thing is finished uploading, and then you go to the comment section, you're gonna have so many different people talking about the new moons this time and that time or whatever. I'm talking someone who celebrated Passover like a month ago, right? And it was still freezing cold. Okay, not
The new
but
moon is on the 24th.
the new moon. Okay, hold on. Where's that? Let me make sure I got the question from her right. She said new moon. Okay, the 24th. Tomorrow. Right? Today. Okay, yeah. So it's today. So you're gonna have a lot of crazy, lot of crazy. Okay, we know our new year is in the spring, like the new moon's today, and then you go 14 days, 15 day. You got to look in Leviticus chapter 11, 14 day, 15 day. 23, Leviticus 23, 14 day or 15 days, 14 day of the first month or 14 or 15. I know it's Passover and then a feast of unleavened bread right immediately after. So it's coming up. Today's the new moon, and usually some people track the new moon from where they are, and some people track the new moon from Jerusalem. So you're gonna find a lot of different stuff. Most of the stuff is gonna be confusing, but to answer your question, today's new moon. Okay, no problem. Let's see here. Lacey, you got me. Put me on the spot like that. You should be able to see the new moon tonight. Yeah, absolutely. Unique show. He's right. You're supposed to see it tonight, so it is tonight. Awaken generate. Okay, thank you. Yep. So yeah, so he answered it right there. Okay, he answered it quick. You're fast. Evan Davis. Okay, did you see where 45 in Republicans trying to pass that bill where big corps get undisclosed money of the surplus package and 45 can distribute at his. I did not see that. I'll have to look into it, but I didn't see it. Okay. She said, I know we just having spring. I totally agree. I don't understand. I mean, I seen people, they pass over a month ago. Okay? A month ago. I don't get it. So anyway. Okay, right. Okay, 14. Yeah, 14th day. Yeah. All right. And beyond beautiful. What if you have no food to eat during the new moon? What if you have no food to eat? You mean no food like in general? I mean, because that's like a different problem. During the new moon, no food to eat. I probably need a little more clarity on that. I mean, if you don't, I don't. I mean, I don't know if you're like food for a new moon occasion or just don't have any food. Period. You know, I want to understand that a little bit. Okay, my finger hit the wrong number. Yeah, 14 day. Absolutely. Okay. Beyond beauty. Yes, I'm a coffee. Yeah, I'm a coffee person. I got you. I got you. New moon is like the Shabbat. Okay. New moon like the Shabbat. Oh, well, yeah, I know it's to blow up the trumpet in the new moon and stuff like that. But yeah. Lynn said fast or pray. I think you could do that. I don't see a problem with that at all. You definitely fast and pray. Like, do we feast on the new moon? Generally, I don't. I cannot speak for everybody in the chat. People look at the new moon differently. I don't make a feast for the new moon. Okay, what I see is that you blow up the trumpet of the new moon, things like that. You can do that, but I don't see where we make a feast. Every you can, but I'm not gonna say that is a law. Okay, I'm not gonna say that's a law. Some people do that if you want. I mean, I look at Leviticus 23 and I follow those for the dietary law. I observe those, and most of those are done with feasts, except for Day of Atonement, obviously. So, I look at it like that. So let's see here. You know what? If I go to Leviticus 23, guys, hold on one second, just to make sure, Leviticus 23. All right. So if we go Leviticus 23. Oh, that's the wrong chapter. Okay, I knew something was wrong. Leviticus 23. There it is. Okay, I knew something was wrong. Okay, so let's look at. We just want to look at the one coming in. So 23. Let me go. Let's just go verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, which are gatherings, right? Even these are my feasts. So a lot of people are like, oh, that's the feast of the Jews and all that. It's actually, he says it's his feasts. I mean, yes, I know it's given unto us, but I'm just saying they're his feasts. And I say that the people who don't want to do it, they say, oh, well, that's just for the Jews. So anyway, 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation, and ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord and all your dwellings. Okay, so he begins with the weekly one, right? He begins with the 7th-day Sabbath and says, these are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons in the time, okay? The time appointed, in their season, the moeds and mohadims, right? In the 14th day, so it's 14, in the 14th day of the first month at even is the Passover. So the 14th day at even is the Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So the very next day. That's what I was saying. I was like 14, 15, 14, 15. Okay, Passover, unleavened bread. So, and so he said, the Feast of Unleavened Bread unto the Lord, 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread. So we already have instructions right there. And then we don't work, in the first day, so on the Passover, that first day, don't work. Okay, not gonna be a problem this year for a lot of people. You don't work in the same month. You shall do no servile work. You shall offer an offering made by fire, and of course you have Messiah. But people do make Passover meals, and wife and I were talking about it that sometimes people don't give as much reverence to the Lord's holy days as they did with the holidays, right? They just kind of, well, I don't do anything, right? So you have some extremists, right? All the holidays, most of the holidays are very, very pagan, right? A lot of them are very pagan. Not all of them, but most of them are. They're very, very pagan, and so you get a lot of Israelites. You get them, and they swing the pendulum, right? The pendulum swings all the way from one side to the next, right? So anything that even remotely close to to what they did as far as the pagan, they kind of throw it all out. Okay, like for instance, if you don't want to celebrate your birthday, you don't want to get a birthday cake. Doesn't mean cake is evil, right? So you can make a cake. You can make a cake. I mean, you don't have to celebrate your birthday. That's fine, but you can eat cake. I mean, I can have cake. That kind of thing. People when they celebrate some things, they decorate, but they throw away all decorations. Like, okay, all decorations are evil. Well, no, that's not true. I mean, you don't want to have Christmas decorations. You don't want to have maybe Valentine's decorations. You don't want to have Halloween decorations, but you can have decorations. You can be festive. There's nothing wrong with being festive. Don't have any pagan decorations, right? But that's up to you. That's up to you. You don't have to have any decorations at all. But what I'm just saying is that if someone wants to be festive, okay, like if someone they want to celebrate Hanukkah, right? And we saw the temple. If you look in the Maccabees, the temple had like shields and crowns and stuff of gold and all that. And let's say someone was celebrating Hanukkah, right? And they had shields, decorations that was just shields, little Hebrew shields and little crowns and all that. And they had that all over the place. It's not pagan. They're just commemorating, right? But you have some extremists. They say, well, we're not in Jerusalem and we're not there, and so we can't really keep this and we can't keep that. Da, da, da. Okay, so we're not in Jerusalem, so we're not supposed to keep the dietary law. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's crazy. Well, we're not there and we can't do. I understand that. None of these feast days we can keep as the same way they kept in Jerusalem because we're not there. Okay, there's no Levitical priest. There are Levites around, just don't know who they are. I know there's some camps out there who think they know who they are, but you can't prove that. So we don't know who they are. There's no Sanhedrin. There's no temple. We don't. We don't. So we don't. We don't have all of that, right? And then as far as sacrificing a lamb for the atonement, we don't do that if you are Messianic, right? If you believe in the Messiah. Of course, there's some brothers who don't believe in that or whatever, and they don't believe in the Messiah, but I'm not addressing that anyway. So if you are Messianic, however, you can prepare a Passover meal. You can have some lamb, not because of the lamb that you're eating, okay, is the atonement, okay? I'm Messianic. I believe in the Messiah. So if I eat some lamb, no, I don't think that is atoning for me. I think the Messiah is atoning for me, but it is a memorial. It is a dress rehearsal. It's one of those things. It's a Civil War reenactment, right? I'm just kind of reenacting, okay, out of respect for our ancestors. That's it, okay? That's it. So just kind of reenacting, and that's it. So if I want to, have a little lamb, have some bitter herbs, green, the greens, bitter herbs and things like that, where it's, some of the seasoning and collards, turnips, mustard greens, things like that, cornbread, some couple of slices of lamb, stuff like that. No big deal, okay? No big deal. The other folks call it like a cedar meal. So it's okay if you want to observe it like that, okay? If you're Messianic, the Messiah is that atonement, right? You're just reenacting, just memorializing, just showing your respect, just honoring, okay? He knows you're not worshiping the piece of lamb that's on your plate, okay? That kind of thing. And some people, they'll put like for Passover, they'll put like a red streamer, over the door or whatever, just to memorialize. Is that real lamb's blood over their door? No, it's a piece of paper. Okay, it's a piece of paper. Or some people might paint, which I wouldn't want to paint because then you have to paint over it and all that. But some people put like red paint over their door. I don't do it, but some people do red paint over their door, whatever, just to just memorialize. Okay, that's it. Coming out of bondage and things like that. Just reenacting stuff like that. It is what it is. People put on their Hebrew garbs. Guess what? It didn't look exactly like that in the past. So when we make Hebrew type outfits or whatever, that's not an exact replica, okay, of how they dressed back then. It's not. We can come close by looking at some hieroglyphics and stuff. You can come close, but it's not going to be exact. So that's what people do. So let me go ahead and move forward. Close this up. You guys are lively today. All right, let's see what we got. What did I miss? 14th day. Yeah, I keep the ones in Leviticus. I've never kept new moon before. I've never done anything for new moon. So And so let's see here. New moon is like yes, it is. Okay. So like, do we feast on a new moon? I mean, you can. I don't. I don't. Beyond beautiful. I don't do a feast for the new moon. Okay, so April 7th will be our 14th day. Yeah, roughly. I think that's about right. What day is it? Is it the 7th or the 8th?
It's going to be 14 days from today if you go by the new moon. Some people go by the first quarter, which would be 14 days from the 26th. I mean,
Okay.
the waxing crescent, not first quarter.
Okay, the waxing crescent. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, brother, for clarity. Baruch you and your fold. Thank you, sister. Yeah, I keep the ones in Leviticus. Okay, yeah, me either. You need to say so. 14th day of the first Hebrew month called Nisan is the Passover. This day was important because of the deliverance of the firstborn from death. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very, very well done. Okay, are tortillas considered unleavened bread? Yes, tortillas are unleavened bread because it doesn't have any leavening agents in it. No yeast, right? So
Store
no.
bought ones have sometimes have
But you got to check the store bought ones. And when I say no, I mean like if you make it yourself, right? My wife she'll make it herself, so there's no yeast or anything like that. But look at the package on the store bought ones because some of them actually do have yeast in it, and you don't want that. But if you have, it, but not all of them. Some of them, if they're fresh made or whatever, even if you go to a bakery or whatever and they're fresh made, they may not have any leavening agents in it, so you're good there. So yeah, for 7 days you can eat tortillas. Watch out for the leavening agents or the yeast in it. Okay, so right today my baby turned 4, but we got immersions, so we are celebrating the rebirth. Yes, 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 love it, love it, love it. I like cake, ice cream too. I just don't do candles on the cake. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. So there's certain things, there's certain things people, there's certain people out there they make everything bad, right? It's like okay, well, a harlot wore jewelry. A harlot wore, a harlot wear earrings and stuff like that. So all earrings are bad. I'm like, nah, you can't do that. A harlot sleep on a bed, so we can't sleep on beds either. So you got to really take things case by case. It's really case by case. Okay, I saved my wedding decorations for Passover. Okay, hey, use your wedding decorations for Passover. Hey, there you go. Hey, to each his own. I'm not, I'm not mad at you for that. They'll use that passage over there. What was it, in Paul, or was it Peter in the time? It's not the outward adorning. It's not braided hair, stuff like that. Oh, braids are bad. I'm like, so now you can't braid. Oh, come on, guys, come on. They just go crazy. It's white and silver. There you go. The decoration's white and silver. Okay, they celebrated Yeshua's birth. I didn't see them celebrating Yeshua's birth whatsoever. No one even knows when his birthday was at all. I see no celebration of his birth at all. We understand they did the the Magi came and gave him frankincense and myrrh and all that, and that was just the birth, right? We see any celebration at all after that period at all. Now remember, he went along with the disciple, which is believed to be about 3.5 years. And after 3.5 years, if you're going to be hanging out with someone for 3.5 years, you and I are around each other. Okay, if we're around each other for 3.5 years, not once am I going to ask you, when's your birthday? Not once are you going to ask me, hey dude, brother IP, when's your birthday? Not once ever. So my point is, they had an opportunity to ask him when was his birthday, and they didn't, which means they had an opportunity to celebrate his birthday, and they didn't. So I don't, and I'm answering a specific question because people are going to be like, well, brother, you saying I can't celebrate my? Hey, you do what you want to do. I mean, I don't really do anything for my birthday, but you do what you want to do. But I'm answering a specific question about the Messiah. Did they celebrate? I see nowhere in the scriptures where they celebrated his birthday at all. So, no, he said, in remembering of him, eat the bread and drink this blood. Yes, yes, and that's how I'll celebrate. I'll do we'll eat some lamb and bitter. Well, my wife will prepare the meal, but yeah, we'll do the bread, we'll do the wine. We do all that. Okay, we do all that in remembrance of him. That's off. We do it. which is in their seasons. Because some people, they just do it all the time. You know, in some churches they do it once a month or what. I'm like, no, they try to use that as often as you do it, but I'm like, in its season. Okay. Did you see this? Look at the Gospels. Did they do it every week? Okay. Did they do bread and wine every week? You know. So no, they did it in its season. Okay. Beyond no, the Bible says, "Keep it in all your dwellings and all thy generations." Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, it sure did. Yes, it does. Not his cardinal birth. Okay, gotcha. Yes, in all our dwellings. Yep, keep it in all our dwellings. Practicing the righteous act. That's what we're doing. Practice the righteous acts. I have to agree with you on that. Okay, yeah, your children painted the wrapping paper. I don't see a problem with that. You'll have some people out there that's going to judge you if you do anything just because you're trying to commemorate. See, the funny thing is we put all this energy towards the other. Think about your old life before you guys were awakened, okay? And I can't say everybody because there's going to be somebody who said, well, I never really did any kind of, okay, I get it. But I'm talking about the people who were festive. I'm talking about festive people, festive brothers and sisters. Before you were awakened, look at the energy you put in celebrating all kinds of stuff. It was a big deal to celebrate Valentine's Day with the chocolate and the roses and the cards and the going out to fancy dinners and the champagne and the chocolate covered strawberries and all that stuff. Made a big deal out of it, big hullabaloo out of it. Look at what you do in the 4th of July. So now with our holy days, we got a lot of 4th of Julys, but look at what happens in the 4th of July, okay? There's fireworks and there's drinks and there's food and hanging out at the park or the beach or wherever you happen to live and all that stuff. We went all out in the celebrations, right? Not to mention Christmas, okay? Not to even mention that. Then you look at Halloween. And look at the big feast of Thanksgiving. We did all these things with so much fervor. And it comes to, you know, the Most High's celebrations when he says rejoice and celebrate and be merry and all this other stuff. We're just like, no. We don't want to listen to music or anything. Now, don't get me wrong. You don't just listen to any kind of music. But you can listen to some music that the message isn't satanic, okay? So don't listen to anything that has satanic message in it. But I'm just saying stuff that's, you know, pretty, you know, innocent and stuff like that. But you know, you just, some people, that pendulum swings all the way from one side to the other. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Acting out in faith with fun, nothing wrong with that. Okay. Can't wear the braids. Okay. Shalom. Yehonatan Yisrael. Shalom. For Passover, I have a leg of lamb. Nothing wrong with that. Can my family eat the leg of lamb smoked on the grill, or does it have to be prepared a different way? No, you can't. See, the people, what happens is, people are saying, okay, when you have the lamb, you do it the way it's just, prescribed, in the Bible. But remember, that was, before Messiah. Right? So, and they say, well, you got to raise the lamb yourself without spot, without blemish, got to be a ram of the first year and all that. Yeah, that's fine. You're a homesteader, you have the lamb and all that. You do that because you're trying to, again, memorialize and reenact, right? And rehearse the righteous acts, right? But at the end of the day, if you're a messianic, that's not what you're doing the lamb for anyway, right? That's not going that because the blood of bull and goats could never take away the sins, right? So you're not doing it for that purpose. Now, don't get me wrong. Let me be clear. I'm not saying you circumvent anything or nothing like that, because you got brothers who are just Old Testament only. You have some Torah only people. I'm telling you, you do it exactly the way the Bible describes it. Okay, you bring a young lamb of the first year without spot, without blemish. You sacrifice it on the altar. You give it to a Levite. You take it to the temple. You do all that. Okay, you do all that. So I don't want someone to say, "Oh, this brother said you don't have to do." No, you're Torah only. You have to do all that, because Messiah is not the Messiah. He's not. David hadn't come back yet. Okay, he's not your Yeshua or Yahushua or Jesus Christ, whichever name you give him. He's not your Messiah. Okay, so he's not atoning for your sin. So you got to get this just right. Okay, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic or anything. You got to get this just right. So I don't want anyone to say, "Oh, this brother, you don't have to do." No, yes you do. But what I'm saying is that if you're messianic, The lamb is not the atonement for your sin anyway, so you're reenacting that. Okay? It's a memorial. You're just rehearsing the righteous acts. That's it. So you go from there. All right. So what do we have for Passover? Okay. Yep. Here's the legend. Let's do that. Do you have the scripture for communion? I don't know about communion. You got to go to the Gospels when Messiah was talking about go when he was telling the disciples to go and prepare, the Passover and stuff like that. I know typically we don't call it communion, but if you go to that chapter, let me look. Let me look for it for you. Let me look it up for you, and I'll get it for you. Since you asked, I'll get it for you. Okay. you let me go. Okay, so Luke 22:8. Okay, Luke 22:8. So open that up. Luke 22, verse 8. Let's take a look at it. He says, and he sent Peter and John, saying, go and prepare us the Passover, that we may eat. And he said unto him, where wilt thou that we prepare? Like, where you want us to go? And he said unto them, behold, when ye are entered into the city, there shall a man meet you, bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house where he entered in. And ye shall say unto the good man of the house, the master said unto thee, where is the guest chamber where I shall eat the Passover with my disciples? Where I'm going to eat the Passover, the lamb. So even the Messiah ate the lamb, and he is the lamb. So even he did that. Okay. And again, with the hospitality, a guest chamber. Okay. People had a guest house. So anyway, so the hospitality. All right. And he shall show you a large upper room furnished. There make ready. So get everything ready for the Passover. And they went and found as he had said unto them, and they made ready the Passover. And when the hour was come, he sat down, and the 12 apostles with him. And he said unto them, with desire I have desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For I say unto you, I will not any more eat thereof until it be fulfilled in the kingdom of God. And he took the cup, and he gave thanks, and he said, take this and divide it among yourselves. For I say unto you, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of God shall come. And he took bread, and he gave thanks, and he brake it, and he gave unto them, saying, this is my body, which is given for you. This do in remembrance of me. So while we keep doing the Passover, he said, now the bread, do this in remembrance of me. This is my body. Do this in remembrance of me. That's what I'm going to do. So likewise, also the cup after supper, saying, this cup is the New Testament in my blood, which is shed for you. So now we're talking about a renewed covenant, okay? A new covenant, taking it off of lamb and putting it on him, okay? Taking it off of lamb and putting it on him, okay? This cup is the New Testament in my blood, which is shed for you. But behold, the hand of him that betrayed me is with me on this table. So, okay, so we already know Judas Judas betrayed him. So we know that. So I'm going to go back. Let's see here. Generation. The same time he told them to prepare for the Passover at the dinner, he said, this bread is my body, and even said, unless a man eat of me or drink of me, he is not worthy. And I believe John okay, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm with you on that. They are legalistic brothers. Yeah, absolutely. It's like you can't do anything. So true, Rosie. Shalom, brother. Thank you, Rosie UK. Shalom, shalom. No, they said we can't wear braids. The extra lights. Okay, the extra light. Talking about the Israelite. Yeah, the extra lights. The Messiah didn't die for Torah only. They on their own. Yeah. You're absolutely right. You're on your own. That's all I'm saying. But I wanted to clarify that. So when somebody say, "Nah, this brother, he said you don't got to do it," I said, "Yes, you do. You Torah only. Yes, you do. You got to do all that. Go right back to Torah and follow that word for word, line for line, of how you're supposed to prepare the Passover. That's all. Hey, that's all I can say." Beyond Beautiful, should we flee the cities? I have 80 acres of land in Oregon, but no tiny home on it yet, and I don't have a car to get there. But I had dream where I walked all the way to Mexico. So is the Most High saying to leave? I'm not a dream interpreter. However, I would leave. I would leave. I wish I had the gift of Daniel and the gift of Joseph, but I would leave. I wish I had 80 acres. I don't have 80 acres. Shoot, I'd move over there with you. Let's see. Da-da-da-da. Okay, Beyond Beauty, she lives in Wisconsin. Okay, cool, cool. Beyond Beauty, wow, Mexico is the second time I heard that we should go there if you're on the East Coast. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, confirmation. Beyond Beauty, I had another dream where I gathered up all the homeless Israelites in Cali in a double-decker bus, RV conversion, and drove hundreds of people to Mexico. Something about Mexico, yeah, definitely pray and fast on that to get a confirmation. Okay, in the Bible, many people in the Bible ask for very specific confirmations, the Most High. But I would do it in prayer and fasting and see if you can get that confirmation. Definitely. Beyond Beauty, that's what I wanted to do. Absolutely. So if you can help out a lot of unfortunate, Israelites or whatever, definitely do that. Okay, definitely do that. So that's like yeah, that's amazing. And here comes the coughing fit. You see what y'all do to me? You see what you do to me? You see what you do to me? All right, let's see. What else we got? Yeah, he says, why does the Sunday church keep doing communion every first Sunday when it is wrong? Because they're blinded. They're blinded. They're blinded. It's just it's a different God. My easiest answer to that, there's a lot of little answers, but my easiest one, it's a different God. Okay, because the Messiah that you serve is the Lord of the Sabbath. Okay, as the Lord of the Sabbath. They just people wake up and they're like, how can I have been wrong all this time? No way. So it's a warning. Gotcha. We're trying to get out to. Absolutely. Did everybody else say we're trying to get out to? Absolutely. I'm always going to say, hey, get out. If the Most High is putting it on your heart to get out, the Holy Spirit's moving you to do it, obey. If you read it in the scriptures and you feel like that's what it's saying on you to get out, do it. Definitely. I'm always going to be about, come out from among her, my people, so that we're not partaker of her plagues. Okay. Evan, yes, the Sunday church is off. Yeah, Sunday church is off. They're so wrong. It's not even funny. They're just they're out of here. We can go all day on that. And the moment I go to tell them they're wrong, then I would be a blasphemer. Absolutely, you'd be a blasphemer. How are you gonna tell them that they've been wrong all this time? All this time, we were all wrong when we were asleep. We were all wrong this whole time. So we threw out all that nonsense. They're wrong, and a lot of them actually know that they're wrong. A lot of them actually know that they're wrong. So you're not Brother Evan. You're like the Messiah. Toward them churches, all in his words. Absolutely, no, Evan Davis. No, brother, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. When the Bible's on your side, you stick to your guns. That's it. Bible's on your side, you stick to your guns. Period. So. You guys go with that. Like I said, we're just talking about, cashless society. I know a lot of us, hey, we're not doing a whole lot. Do me a big favor. Comment, like, subscribe. Some of you have already done that, but share it with some other folks. Slap the notification bell. That way I don't want you guys to miss anything. Any kind of news and notes that comes up, any kind of bruised news that I can give to you guys that you can use, I want to bring that to you. So definitely do that. Let's get the word out, and let's talk about it. Let's discuss this. Let's edify one another. Okay. Absolutely. So it says, continue to fight to liberate my family from the clutches of. Absolutely, Heaven Daisies. No, no, God. Hey, Godspeed. Hey, I back you up, brother. I back you up. Sonny, it's so wrong. It's so wrong. So I back you up. There's a lot of them. They know that they're wrong about a lot of stuff. They know that. Um, they know the color of the Israelites. Regardless of what the scripture says. They know this. Okay, you tell them. We asked them, what does burnt brass look like? Just Google image it. Burnt brass. Don't forget to put in the burnt, right? You ask, well, hair like wool. Let's look at that. All right. Well, on the Sunday, where in the scripture where it says that the Sabbath has changed from the seventh day to the first day of the week? How? Where do we see that? Okay. The weakest one obviously has been, Paul broke bread on the first day of the week. Okay, didn't say any of that. I have quote after quote after quote after quote in history where a lot of Sunday authorities, theologians, are saying, well, yeah, the church did it. Okay, the church by the authority of the church and the church alone did we change it from the seventh day to the first day. So they know that. You have preachers on camera talking about, I know that, but I can't tell those people that. People leave the church and blah blah blah. It's ridiculous. Evan, fight the good fight, brother. Fight the good fight. You're on the winning side. Stay on the winning side, brother. Okay. It says those people there were my fam, and I don't want to leave the matrix. Oh, and don't want to leave the matrix. Absolutely. People fight. People have certain what I call reality bubbles, right? They don't want you to come pop it. Okay. They will defend that reality bubble. Also, a lot of people have cognitive dissonance. It'll just come out. They're like, no, no. It's like Neo and you mentioned the Matrix. It's like the whole red pill, blue pill thing, right? And when you realize that you're in the Matrix, you're like, how could I be wrong? How could I have been so fool? How come I didn't see this before? Okay, so you still have that same revelation, and people don't want to leave the Matrix, and that's just classic cognitive dissonance. So that's how it is, guys. I'm new here. Are you from Israel or somewhere else? Christian or Jewish? Okay, Sophia A. All right, so welcome. Appreciate you coming. Thank you for joining joining in with us. Be awesome to get to know you over time. Like, share, subscribe, and put the notification bell if you will. That way, when we pop up again, you'll catch it. But to answer your question, I do profess to be Israelite in ancestry. I didn't physically come from Israel, but through ancestry, yes. Christian or Jewish? Not Jewish, just Israelite. Not Christian, former Christian. But of course, I do know Christian with the etymology is to say Christ follower. So, do I believe in the Messiah, whom some people call Jesus Christ, who some people call Yeshua, and some people call Yahweh Shai? I do believe in a Messiah. Okay, so that would be, I guess you could say, messianic. Jewish? No, not Jewish. No, not Jewish, but do profess to be Israelite. It also says not to take dead into holy places, but they have funerals. Yeah, that happens too. It should be a separate place for that. Absolutely. Okay, remember, it's crazy. Real Israelites in Sunday churches will fight you. It's like they don't want to be the jewel of God's eye. Yeah, they don't know, but they don't know what they're turning down. They really don't. That's right, brother Evan. Absolutely. Okay. Same here. I'll go in kicking doors down. I'll go in kicking doors down. Okay. How I woke up was when I went to college and some back with a new mindset. At Vacation Bible School, they told me that consuming alcohol was a sin. Well, we know that's not true. Consuming alcohol is not a sin. Drunkenness is the problem. This is where our sin is. But having an alcoholic drink, is not a sin. No, absolutely. Yeah, turning down streets of gold in paradise. Absolutely, they are. Like I said, they don't know. They don't know what it is that they're tearing down. And then all of us, those who are trying to awaken other, a couple of things, a couple of quick notes, and I get out of here, is think y'all that we're not to convince, right? Okay, we're not to convince. We are to share. Okay, we are to preach, teach, share, whatever. But you don't have to convince them. It's up to them. Remember that they're not rejecting you. Okay, you're just the vessel. You're just the package that the truth is wrapped in. They're not rejecting you. I mean, even Messiah said that. They don't receive you. They don't receive me. Okay, they're not rejecting. If they hate you, remember that they first hated him. Okay, so don't worry about it. They're not rejecting you. They're rejecting this truth, right? The Bible was written well before you were born, right? So when you're bringing the Bible, it's like, okay, your arguments with the Bible, not with me. Okay, you can read it for yourself. And they don't want to hear it. They don't hear you say something like that. Okay, just because I don't say it doesn't mean it's not written in the same Bible that you have in your lap, saying that you believe. Okay, so it's still there. Okay, it's up to you. So that's what Again, they don't know what they're rejecting. They really don't. So I wouldn't worry about it that much. Okay. There's a time where you can't cast your pearls before swine. Yeah, you can't cast your pearls before swine. And there's a time where to everything there's a season. Okay, so you're not there to convince. Just keep that in mind. That way you're not in these endless debates, right? But 3 or 4 admonishments after that, that's it. You deal with it, 2, 3 times, and then that's it. Okay, because not everyone is going to have that same zeal. Not everyone's going to wake up and be like, oh my gosh, no. Some people are going to outright reject it. Okay, remember when multi-level marketing was like a thing, when it was like real big? I know it still goes on, but like when it was real big. And maybe some of you guys are someone because you may have been on the front side or the back side of it, or the other side, where you go, you listen to the pitch and everything, and you're like, whoa, how come everyone's not doing it? People are gonna go crazy, right? And you got all this zeal, and you're like, oh my goodness, whoa, and you want to tell everyone, oh, we're gonna make money, we're gonna be rich, and all this other stuff, right? And then you go to share it with people, and they sour on it, and they kick against it, and they poke holes in it, and they basically try to like deflate you, right? Same thing happened with this truth, right? It's kind of like when the scripture's talking about, it is honey to your tongue and it's sour to your stomach. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it's bitter. I mean, it's sweet and then it's bitter, right? So it's kind of like that. You're gonna get this truth, and then you're gonna be excited, and then you think that people are going to be excited to hear it like you. They're gonna feel the same way you felt. They're gonna come into it, and you know, and it's just not like that. So some people will openly reject. I was talking about the other day when you look in Revelation and stuff like that, because people have this. They just have this thing on their minds where it's just fixed a certain way, and there's no changing it. And I used to wonder back when I was a Christian. I used to wonder, like, when you go in Revelation and it said, and they went to make war with the Lamb and stuff like that. And I'm like, how could people, why would anybody fight the Messiah, This guy coming out of the sky, how is that? How is that? They said, well, false prophet, the Antichrist. That's only a part of it, right? A big part of it is that when he shows up, probably not going to look like what they think he's going to look like, right? I only point that out just to say because people have certain things fixed in their mind and you can't move them off that position. You can't move them off that position. So, you're not here to convince. It's really that simple, guys. So, with that, guys, I'm going to see you on the next one. And I appreciate you guys joining me. Israelite Prepper.